I'm going to be ranking the top 10 best cards right now in NBA 2K23. My team, you guys can let me know in the comment section down below who are some of your guys' favorite cards in the game, and let me know what you guys would change about my top 10. But coming in at my number 10 spot is going to be the new RNG card, the Galaxable Danny Ferry. I just want to quickly go over the honorable mentions just before we get into the top 10. I think Kobe Bryant is a really good honorable mention. Scotty Barnes, Sengun, those guys I feel like are right out of the top 10. Billy Knight, Mike Bantam, all really elite cards. I mean, LeBron, Giannis, like those cards are super elite. Anthony Davis, you know, a lot of cards are going to be not in my top 10, but I do think in my opinion these are the top 10 best cards in my team right now. But on my number 10 spot, like I said, the Galaxable Danny Ferry. I just think he's so elite at that small forward position, being 6'10" with a 7'2" wingspan. He's going to be so nice on the offensive side of things, having a 97 3 ball, 96 mid-range. I mean, these stats all around are super well rounded. He's got a 95 speed, 95 acceleration, good at going to the basket with a 95 driving dunk, 93 vertical. He's also a very solid defender. Like, he's got 90 in every single defensive category that actually matters: 90 block, 90 steal, 90 perimeter, and a 90 interior defense. He's got 16 Hall of Fame badges, which is really nice, also having 42 golds. But the best thing about this Danny Ferry card isn't his stats and badges. It's when you go to the animation screen, he's got honestly one of the best jump shots in the game with the O-shaper set base, which is in my opinion one of the better bases in the game. And he's got that Carmelo Anthony upper, which is the fastest upper, or at least one of the fastest uppers in the game, and also super good. And that's going to be on very quick timing. So he's got a super fast jump shot. He's also got some very solid dribble sigs. He's got the MJ dribble style, De'Aaron Fox size up. He's got that curry escape, which means he can curry slide and use that really good curry escape animation. And then also does have the tray behind the back and the Trae Young leaner, which is super nice on next gen and current gen as well. So I mean, all around, I think Danny Ferry is probably the 10th best card in the game. But I'm at number 9 spot. I think these two guys are a very close debate. It's going to be the other RNG card from the second half of season 5 is going to be the Galaxable Pervis Ellison. I think he's barely better than Danny Ferry, and I want you guys to let me know, who do you guys think is the better card between Pervis Ellison and Danny Ferry? I think Pervis is just a little bit more well-rounded, being a 6'9" small forward with a 7'1" wingspan. I do think he's slightly better on the defensive end with a 94 block, 95 steal, 96 lateral quickness, 93 perimeter, and a 94 interior defense. Also, when you take a look at his jump shot, I think that really comes down to preference, but the biggest difference, at least in my opinion, is probably this Darius Garland size up. I think the Garland size up is much better than that Fox size up on Danny Ferry. They both got the Trae Young leaner, they both have great jump shots, and all around, there's not really too big of a difference between the cards. I think they both got really good driving dunk tendencies and really good tendencies overall. So if you guys want to put Danny Ferry over Pervis Ellison, I think that's a really close debate at the small forward position. But on my number 8 spot, it might seem a little bit low, but it's going to be Dark Matter D-Rob. Still one of my favorite big men to use in the game. I still run him on my squad, and I think he's still super elite at that power forward and center position. He's going to be 7'1" with a 7'5" wingspan. We know D-Rob is going to be a very good defender, having a 98 block, 98 interior defense, also having an 88 steal and a 90 perimeter. I will say, not a flaw with this card, but he isn't really the greatest rebounder in game. He still snags boards, but not on the same level as a Taco Fall, a Kareem, a Yao Ming, and those type of centers. So he does get kind of out rebounded if you are running him at the center position, but I still think he's got a very capable jump shot and very good dribble sigs for your power forward or center as well. There's just better bigs in the game right now, and that we'll talk about here in a second, but in my opinion, I think D-Rob is the 8th best card in the game. At my number 7 spot, a very underrated card. I think one of the more underrated cards in the game, the Dark Matter Bill Russell. I believe he's the best small forward in the game over Pervis Ellison and over Danny Ferry. I think these are the top 3 small forwards in the game. It is a very close debate though between Bill Russell, Danny Ferry, and Pervis Ellison. You could really flip-flop them however you guys want to. If you want to put Pervis, you know, over Bill Russell, or Danny Ferry over Bill Russell, that's a very fair comparison to make. But for me, I think Bill Russell is the best small forward, being 6'10" with a 7'4" wingspan and a very good player model in game. And I don't think it's a question at all that he's the best defensive card in my team right now. He's got a 98 block, 95 steal, 97 lateral quickness, 96 perimeter, and a 99 interior defense. Now you guys might think that's crazy. take a look at his defensive hops. He's got every single defensive badge on Hall of Fame. Like, that is ridiculous for your small forward card. And then look at the rest of the stats. Very well rounded. 98 driving dunk, 95 standing dunk. He's even got an 86 ball handle, 92 speed with ball, Hall of Fame clamp breaker, quick first step. He's super athletic of a card, 98 strength, 98 vertical, also having 95 speed and 95 acceleration. And then you take a look at his jump shot, a very capable release with that Jokic base and the Kobe Bryant upper. I feel like it's a very easy jump shot to green on quick timing. And then he's also got like the Donovan Mitchell size up, a very solid size up in the game, Kobe escape, MJ dribble style, that Dame behind the back, normal leaner, quick drops off one. I mean, they really souped out Bill Russell, and I think all around is the 7th best card in the game and one of the more underrated cards in my team. But at my number 6 spot, I still feel like you got to give it to the unicorn Dark Matter Kristaps, just because of his versatility to play center and power forward as well. I think he's probably the 3rd or 4th best power forward, but I do believe he's the 2nd best center, either 2nd or 3rd best center. I mean, you could honestly, if you wanted to, put Bill Russell over Kristaps, and I would have no problem with that, because I think Bill Russell is really that elite, but I still think Kristaps is probably slightly better, being 7'3" with a 7'6" wingspan, and he's still going to be so glitchy of a card. The fact that he's 7'3", can play power forward with these defensive stats, like for a Kristaps card, he usually never gets like this good speed and defense, you know, on a Dark Matter this early in my team. So the fact that he's got that defense and that speed is super crucial, because we know Kristaps on the offensive end is going to be an absolute bucket. Still probably the best pick and pop player in the game right now, with an amazing jump shot and tons of Hall of Fame shooting badges. But I do feel like he's just going to barely miss out of the top 5, because I'm a number 5 spot. I think once again, just like Bill Russell, one of the more underrated cards in the game, which is going to be the Dark Matter Jimmy Butler from the out of position set at my number 5 spot. I do believe he's the best point guard in the game. Once again, I feel like if you want to switch him with Bill Russell, you want to switch him with Kristaps. I think a lot of these cards on this list are so close. Like, is Jimmy Butler way better than Kristaps or Bill or Danny Ferry or Purvis Ellison or Jimmy Butler? No, they're so close in skill level that you could have D-Rob even at the number 5 spot, and that wouldn't be crazy to say. But in my opinion, I do think, like I said, Jimmy Butler is the best point guard in the game. I don't think it's by like a crazy mile over LaMelo, Sengun, Scotty Barnes, you know, Luke Walton. I don't think he's much better than those cards, but I still feel like he's got that kind of edge with his jump shot being on very quick timing, and just all around is one of the better perimeter defenders in the game, with, like I said, a very good jump shot and very solid dribble sigs. But I'm a number 4 spot is going to be the Pink Diamond Taco Fall, one of the glitchiest cards in my team, being a power forward who is 7'6" with an 8'2" wingspan. I think at the power forward position, he is the 2nd best in the game. And then if you run him at center, like what I mean, not run him at center, because I know he doesn't have a center position, but in game, you start him at your power forward and then you switch him onto your center. He can obviously be very dominant guarding people's centers. If it's like a Yao Ming, a Kristaps, a D-Rob, he can obviously can compete with those cards at the center position. And just defensively, he's an absolute monster. And offensively, they gave him a 73 3 ball with like a coach boost. If you have, like, let's say for example, Monty Williams, and then you give him a +4 shoe boost, he's now going to have an 82 3 ball on a Pink Diamond Taco Fall card in March. And the other crazy thing is it says 64 speed for a base Taco Fall, but that is the most, you know, just not true stat I've ever seen in my team, because he plays like he has 85 speed. Like, he does not feel like he's got only 64 speed, and for that reason, I think overall he's got to be a top 5 card in the game, and for me he's going to be at number 4. But at my number 3 spot, I do think Dark Matter Cream, the Bracket Busters lock-in, I feel like he's just tiny bit better than a card like Taco Fall, because I do think he's the best power forward in the game, and probably the 2nd or 3rd best center card, being 7'2" with a 7'5" wingspan. I mean, Taco Fall is probably the cheesier and more glitchy card than Cream, but Cream's got like the higher 3 ball. He's got the better all-around defensive stats. He's going to be more mobile, you know, with 92 speed, 91 acceleration. Even though Taco does feel a lot faster than his 64 speed, he's still not going to be as quick as a guy like Dark Matter Reem, with also having a pretty good jump shot as well. So for me, I think Cream overall is the 3rd best card. Tons of Hall of Fame badges, plays really good defense, and is just one of the best all-around cards in the game. But on my number 2 spot, I think it's pretty obvious. Number 2 and number 1, you could really debate either way, but for me personally, I think for right now, it's going to be Dark Matter T-Mac. He's a 6'8" shooting guard with a 7'2" wingspan, and he's basically the perfect shooting guard in the game. There's not too much you could do to this card to make him better, because he's got the best jump shot with the KPJ base and the Oscar upper on quick timing. He's also got amazing dribble sigs. I wish he maybe had like the Trey escape, and let's say for example the Steve Francis size up, then his sigs will be a lot better. But for the stage of my team right now, he is heaps and above every other shooting shooting guard in the game, whether it's Kobe, Billy Knight, Ray Allen, you know, Vince Carter. He's just so much better than the next best shooting guard. But at the number 1 spot, at least in my opinion, is going to be Galaxy Yao. Like I said though, between T-Mac and Yao Ming, it's really a coin flip, and honestly, it depends who you are better with. If you're really good 3-hunter and you know how to use T-Mac Sigs and his jump shot to his advantage, then I think he could be the best card in the game. But for how glitchy of a card is, I think Yao Ming's got to be at the number 1 spot. I mean, he's just one of the most broken cards in my team history. The fact that he came out all the way back in January 20th, which is almost now 2 months ago, like that is ridiculous for how early on we got this Galaxy Yao. But yeah, guys, that's going to be my top 10 cards in my team right now. Let me know in the comment section down below, what would you guys change about my top 10? And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.